This is a silver dirham of Hisham of the Umayyad Caliphate. I think I might have this upside down, but to be honest with you, I don't know. This is nice silver. This is about 3 grams of nice silver, and it's from 739 AD. And we know that because the date in Hijra terms is written in Arabic around the coin. Now I can't read that, but that is what's explained by the entry for this coin. So this is under Hisham, and he's of the Umayyads of Baghdad. This is one of the original caliphates. You know, it's like ISIS, except the original. And these guys were in charge of expanding the Islamic caliphate all the way up into the bottom of Spain, even into most of Iberia. And they got as far east as to China, where they had a big battle with the Tang Dynasty, who beat them. And so they did not get a piece of China. There is some scholarship that suggests that they did actually take a piece of China and then have it taken back, but I believe that is not accepted anymore by most people. They got into India, but they got beat back by the Indian, I can't think of the name of the people who were in charge of India at the time, like Chalukula or something like that, Count Chocula's. They beat them back. So this guy's reign actually sort of marks the high water mark. And of course, so 711 is when the Muslims, the Arabs, under the auspices of this guy, came into the bottom of Spain and were fighting with the Visigoths. And the Visigoths had, of course, taken most of Spain from I'm not sure if they took it directly from what was left of the Western Roman Empire or some different barbarians who'd already been there. That being said, they were losing. Now, this guy also, of course, he was fighting with the Byzantine Empire, who still occupied a lot of Turkey. And this guy built a palace which became his headquarters. I think it's called Resham, and that's close to Damascus, Syria, close to the border of what was then the Byzantine Empire, the Eastern Roman Empire. This guy also presided over the loss, and by the way, apologies to any Arabic readers who are looking at this and thinking, you idiot, you got that upside down. I truly don't know the difference, so apologies in advance. In any event, Charles Martel got the Franks and some others together and beat the Arab invaders in 7-something. I don't know the date offhand here. I believe it's real close to the date of this coin being struck, though. Now, interestingly, I'm sure we've all heard that in the religion of Islam, you are not supposed to make images, especially not of people. And this coin certainly doesn't have any images of people on it, but at the time, or shortly before the time of this coin being struck, there was still a usage of coins, even being created by Muslims, that basically mimicked the existing coinage of the Byzantine and the neighboring Persian Sassanid empires, which did have images of the rulers on the face of the coins. And that's a very interesting transition period where we can see that for purposes of practicality, you got to have money that's accepted generally. They made their coins just look like the existing coins of the neighbors that were in circulation and used for trade, which have images of people on them, but then with starting to have Arabic legends around them. As I'm turning this around in the light, you might be noticing, are there surface hairlines on that? This is not the kind of coin that can ever be graded, though, unless I send it to perhaps ANAX, because I've contacted NGC. They don't grade Muslim coins, at least not this kind. They also won't grade. I've got a really nice gold one that ANAX has graded from the 1200s AD, so that's almost 500 years after this. The Seljuks, but they won't touch that either. PCGS, I'm not sure. They haven't responded to my emails. Nice to have, though. Very affordable, believe it or not, even in such nice condition. This kind of coin, I think this cost me about 80 bucks. And listen to that. Nice silver, thin, hammered out coin. And really terrific detail on that. This has been well preserved. I had noticed a lot of the comments and the questions I get even on the eBay where I saw some coins from Muslim people, and they seem to harbor a greater interest today in 2018 in the coins of the ancient world than a lot of Western people. I mean, that is a gross generalization, but I feel like I've noticed that, and I find that interesting. They ask me questions a lot about the Byzantine coins, and they're always interested, of course, in seeing the coins with the Arabic legends on them. And I wonder if there actually is some sort of better preserved interest in history among some of them than we have here in the West, which would be sad. Of course, there's another side of that where you have some fervent religious people who are blowing up monuments and destroying things from history. That's disgusting. So here you go. There's a lot more I could say, because a lot more is known about Hisham. He, I believe, is considered the last, what we call him, Caliph of the Umayyad dynasty, coming out of Baghdad, reached the high water mark of expansion. Now, of course, as we know, the Muslims did end up taking over India, but not for a long time after this. This, again, 739 AD. They don't get into India and really take over until, I believe, the 1500s AD. I could be off on that by 100 years or so, but it's definitely not for quite a while after this coin got struck. These coins became a coin of international commerce, and you will note that even today, if you go take a walk down some, ethnically Muslim street in a city that you live in the West, if you've got one, they've got the Islamic Bank. They have a specific prohibition of interest, which they work around a little bit in order to be able to allow some lending on, legally different terms. And in some very Islamic countries, even Iran, for example, which is not Sunni now. This was Sunni. This whole empire, this expansion, everything we're talking about was Sunni Islam. But in Iran, which is Shiite, in order to get a divorce, I believe even today, you need to pay, is it the age or the length of years you've been married, or the weight of your wife in gold, or maybe at least in the denomination in gold. And so, tough to get a divorce there, because even if you are hitched up with a petite young lady, that's going to cost you. So the interest in precious metals and real money, say whatever, you may have other legitimate criticisms of, especially what's going on today with the religion and some of its practitioners, but tough to argue with that. That is a form of responsibility we can all appreciate. So there you go, Hisham of the Umayyads of Baghdad, a guy who kept it together. His successors started to lose ground. Thanks for watching.